So over here in Laureles, we're walking and talking, and I'm walking to the grocery store. But I want to make a video talking about why I most likely will never live in the States ever again. And when I say most likely, it's because you never know your future, right? You don't know what's going to happen in the future. There could be a small percentage where I end up back in the States living, whatever. So never say never, right? That's the old expression. So let me tell you all real quick. Here on this corner, Total Mickey Mouse, that's a really cool place to hang out at night, during the evening time, just to grab a beer. It's a convenience store. You buy a beer, you sit there, the neighbors sit there. It's really nice to hang out there. This is a new spot, El Paso Hamburguesas. Hamburgers, man. I remember when I first moved to Colombia, Medellin, you could not find a good hamburger anywhere. And then Chef Burger was the first place. After that, the next place, and now hamburgers everywhere. That's a Colombian culture thing. If one thing works, everybody copies it. It's funny. All right, this ice cream here is pretty good too. Okay, so let me get back on the topic. Why would I most likely never go back to the States to live? I'll go back to visit, but to live, I don't think so. Reason number one, the walkability. As you guys can see, I walk everywhere. I don't own a car over here. I have a bicycle, but lately I haven't been using it that much. I've been walking more. When I lived in the States, in Houston, Texas, on the outskirts in the suburbs, if you don't own a car, you can't leave. You can't get very far. And I used to walk a lot over there too, because I love to walk. But I would walk in normal clothes, right? In jeans and shirt and normal shoes. And people, they're not used to that. In the States, when people go walking, they're usually walking in workout clothes, like what I'm wearing right now. But I'm wearing this clothes today because I went to get a haircut. I didn't want to mess up my other shirts with all the loose hair. Anyways, they wear workout clothes. So I remember in the suburbs of Houston, I would walk everywhere, like to go to the grocery store, to go do things, everything. If I could walk, I would walk. And that was after my stay in Europe. I did 6 months backpacking in Europe, and I got the culture of walking, because in Europe they walk a lot too. And I came back to the States and I applied that. I remember I went to an event, like a group thing, and I met some new people. And this one dude I met for the first time, he's like, "I've seen you around." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, where?" "I've seen you walking everywhere." I'm like, "Yeah, I walk." He said, "I've been seeing you around for like the past 2 years walking everywhere, and I thought you were homeless. I thought you were a homeless guy." I'm like, "No, I don't. I have a house. I just choose to walk." So that's the thing. In the States, especially in the suburbs and the majority of the states, if you're walking with normal clothes, that's weird. To go from like maybe from your house to the grocery store, your house to like the gas station, whatever, most people don't do it, man. That just annoys the heck out of me. The last time I went back to the States, to Texas, because I had to go back to visit my family, and also for the visa situation I had here in Colombia, I walked around. I got a Motel 6 and I was walking everywhere. It was unwalkable, no sidewalks, very dangerous. Having to walk in the very tall grass along the side of the road is not made to walk. So that's reason number one. I will never move back to the States. I love to walk. And I don't want to have to own a car. I don't want to have to own a car. I want to choose to own a car. Okay, so we're still in Laureles. As you guys notice, there's big buildings here. If you guys want a nice up, like modern apartment with a beautiful view, Laureles is a good option too, instead of just Poblado. And it's cheaper here too. So that's it's more affordable option. And around this area you can find menus of the day. You can find menus of the day, which from like 10 to 12,000, maybe 15,000 pesos. So that's about $3 to $5 for the meal, for a very good meal. And Poblado is very hard to find menus of the day. So, but Poblado, you can have better apartments, nicer apartments, very luxurious if you guys want that. But it's pretty nice anyways. Okay, so back to the topic. Reason number two, as you guys can see, we're in Laureles, and this is, for Medellin, this is empty. Like the streets are empty for Medellin. But as you can see, there's people walking here, there's people walking behind me, across the street. There's people in the streets. I go back to the States and it's literally ghost town in the streets. Ghost town, nobody's in the streets. Even to the point of when I went back to the States, I was at my mom's place and I walked outside and I took a video of the outside, like the streets and stuff, and I sent it to my girlfriend and her family over here, and it blew their mind that nobody was in the streets. It was empty. It's ghost town, empty. Like there was cars going by every once in a while, but nobody's in the streets. Everybody's inside their home. I can't stand that. I can't stand it, man. You feel so isolated and lonely, you know. Hold on, let me keep walking. 1 second, guys. So you see right here, very peaceful. Another good thing about Laurel is a lot of trees, a lot of greenery. They take pride in the trees here. So you feel very isolated in the States because you go, like, again, I walk everywhere, so I'm walking around the streets and there's nobody in the streets. I'm having to walk along the main, like a busy road, in the tall grass up to my knees. It's ridiculous. And you might see somebody, like when I was younger and single in the States, I would see a girl pass by in a car, very pretty, and then zoom, she's gone. You know, it's like you don't see people, you don't talk to people. It's hard to, after high school and after college, man, it's hard to kind of be around people, right? Unless at work or whatever. But I worked independently. I was self-employed, so work from home, it's hard. So that's reason number 2. Too much isolation, too much everybody in their own little bubble. Even to the point of, for example, even neighbors won't know each other in the States. They pull in, they close the garage door, and they go to their living room and watch TV. They don't talk to their neighbors or nothing. I'm speaking in general. It's, of course, there's exceptions, right? But that's number 2. Number 3, the cycle that you can find yourself in of spending. The spending cycle that you get yourself in, like it just takes you. It takes you and doesn't let you go. And what do I mean by that? All the advertising, all the great ways that, the very super intelligent ways that the grocery stores set up their items, so you feel compulsed to purchase, right? Compelled to purchase. And all the advertising, and then having to keep up with the Joneses and everything. And I'm a frugal person. I hardly spend money. I only spend money when I need to, because I find enjoyment in things that don't cost money. I find enjoyment walking. I find enjoyment talking to the camera. I find enjoyment talking to people, you know, people watching, that kind of stuff. But since you're so isolated over there, I was so isolated. I didn't talk to many people. I didn't see many people. I couldn't walk, so I couldn't find my enjoyments. You start getting depressed, right? And then you get all these advertisements bombarding you, showing people super happy. And why are they happy? It's because they just purchased this item. Like, they just purchased this vehicle, they just purchased this brand new suit or clothes or whatever it is, you know. Even I haven't been back in the States in 6 years, but back when I was there, it was getting to the trend that guys needed to buy like super expensive custom-made suits. Not because for work, just to go out to have a beer. They're wearing custom-made suits. Like, it's crazy. And they're expensive suits too. And then you get judged if you go to and this was when I was living in downtown Houston, so it might have been, is a different environment versus living in the suburbs. But that's what I saw in downtown Houston. But the whole cycle of spending that you fall into, I even found myself in that what's the word, guys? Just that just captured into it, right? To where I was going and buying expensive clothes that I didn't need, buying super expensive shoes that I didn't need, like very nice dress shoes that I didn't need. Even to the point I felt so guilty of spending that money that I've had those shoes here in Colombia up until last year, where I gave them away. So some people are walking around with like super high quality Italian leather shoes here in Medellin that I bought because I was depressed, and I thought that buying something and making a purchase will take away the depression, and it's not true. But that's what they want you to think, and that's how it's just constantly bombarding your head and your mind. So that's reason number 3, I believe. And I'm just coming off the top of my head, guys, so if I miss the number comes out incorrect, I apologize. So yeah, that whole cycle of spending, I can't stand having to spend to be happy. The other thing I don't like about back in the States, and don't get me wrong, the States is great. My childhood was amazing. My childhood was amazing. The fact that I was able to grow up and in a suburban neighborhood where everybody was, back in my day, kids went outside. They went outside to play. We were never inside. We only went inside when the street lights came on, right? So back when I was younger, it wasn't the way I'm talking right now. It was how I used to like it, where people were outside, they were talking to each other, they spent time with each other. When we were kids, the parents would like pull up lawn chairs and sit together and have a beer together or lemonade or whatever, and it's like chit chat and spend time together, right? I'm not sure if that happens now, but I don't see it that much. So the States, I love the States, and I would never change my childhood for nothing, because that was a great childhood growing up in the States, man. The suburbs back in those days, awesome. All the games that we used to play. Anyways, next topic, next reason. Stay tuned. Everybody so busy. Everybody's so busy and making things complicated, like stressed out and busy. Like for the fact that you have to schedule appointments to hang out with your friends. Oh, I'm busy this week. How about next week on Thursday at 2 o'clock? Oh, this and that. Just so busy. But you know that everybody's going home and watching the Netflix series or whatever they're watching. They have enough time to sit at home alone and watch Netflix, you know, but they're too busy with everything else. And I don't blame them. I blame the culture, to where it's such a culture of grind and staying busy and making money to purchase that next item, to pay this next bill or this mortgage, always having to keep it constantly go. In Latin culture, I love it here because it's the opposite. They live first, right? They take time with their family. They take time with their friends to have a beer on the corner, like I pointed out back there with the Mickey Mouse place. So that kind of wore down on me in the States, you know. And then every time you would hang out with your friends is always to go eat at a restaurant. That's like the main option. Just, hey, let's go meet at this restaurant and eat. Jeez, man, how much eating are we gonna do, you know? So that's another reason I would never go back to the States. And then the other reason is because there's so much aggression in the States. There's so much conflict. There's so much, and I'm speaking in general. I know there's a lot of good people. I've met good people from this channel. The people watching my videos, I met them here, you know. These are so like-minded people. Like, the good thing about YouTube is it draws like-minded people to the channel. And I'm from the States, and those people from the States, they're good people. So, but in general, there's a lot of aggression, a lot of conflict, a lot of social strife, and it just gets annoying, you know. It gets old, especially when the media and the news just pumps out all kinds of content to turn everybody against each other. Too much aggression. Like, you can go to a bar in the States or a place out at nighttime, and if you look at someone that think you looked at them wrong, you could be in a fist fight. That doesn't happen here. There's not as much aggression here as back home. I gotta tell y'all a story about what happened to me when I was first time going back to the States, and I was connecting through Panama, and I got my American welcome from this not so nice lady who was American in the Panama airport. So I'll tell you that story another day. But yeah, so those are some reasons. There's more reasons. The main reason, here's the main reason. I'm happy here. I'm happy outside the country. I'm happy. There's different cultures, right? There's different cultures, and some cultures don't fit with some people. The culture in the States doesn't fit with me, but the culture here in Colombia fits. It's like trying to fit a square into a round hole, right? A square peg into a round hole. I found where I fit, you know, here. And I'm not saying that there's no other places that I could fit in other cultures, other countries. And I'm not saying that I won't go look and discover, because life's short, right? But I've lived in the States. I lived in the States for, when I come over here, I was 34, I think. For 34 years, I lived there. I kind of understand what I don't like over there. And I don't see myself going back, because 34 years, I think, is a good enough amount of time to know if I was happy there or not. So I'm happy here. I wasn't happy over there. But all my friends back home, I love you guys. Y'all come visit me in Colombia. See y'all in the next video. Ciao. Check out this cool car, man. It's Nissan Patrol. Very cool. All right, bye.